and he's like, "Are you ready?"
As I'll ever be.
He throws you a flying broom. He's like, "I at least hope you know how to ride this."
I've only lived here for how long?
Fuck me. Anyway, let's go. We need to get you on the next train over. So we got to go down to Drowned Elf Lake and get you on a train heading to the academy because these brooms aren't like they used to be. They don't fly as far. If I could, I'd take you on the broom all the way, but it won't make it. So we need to fly down to the Drowned Elf Lake and get you on a train heading down. So let's just go. Uh, your mother is actually not there. She is off to work, so you won't be able to say goodbye to her. But the two of you fly off and you head down to Drowned Elf Lake, and it's actually a quite a bustling little city. You find that there is several subways, kind of making its way all the way around the actual lake itself. It's almost like the city itself was built over top of the lake, and they use the lake as a resource center to help them grow their crops and everything. Um, but the subways are on ground level, and they're all the way surrounding the lake itself. There's actually four of them. There's one to the north, south, east, and west. Your father takes you one closest to you, and he gets you down there. He goes and buys your ticket. He hands it to you and says, "Now, for fuck's sake, do not do like you did in elementary school where you fucking ran off and thought that, we wouldn't find your ass because I can't handle that shit. I ain't got the time to go and look for you."
Whatever.
You just see him, he's rubbing his temples. He's like, "Look, I know we have our differences, and I know we don't get along to a degree, but this school will help you out. It will be for the betterment of you. I promise. And just give it a shot. That's all I'm asking. And if it doesn't work out, then I'll come get you myself. I'll get you out of the academy, and we'll put you in something that you want to do. All I'm asking is you give it a shot."
I make no promises.
He sighs and he says, "Okay, all right. Train's about to leave, so I'll talk to you soon." And you take your ticket and you start heading off towards the train, and you get on. There's not a lot of people on the train this early, but you know that it's heading straight for the academy. Now, last but not least, Dubs. Let me find the city that you're from. There it is.
Oh God, where
Breakspear.
is it?
You're from the town known as Breakspear. And I'm going to pull up your notes so that I know looking for. All right. We find ourselves in probably the worst scenario of the lot. We find ourselves in a shack. There's only one room. You see roughly about 3 cots in this shack. Two of them are empty, and there's nobody there except for our friend Dubs. Dubs, please take a moment to describe your character.
Well, I am a Goliath. Well, Drazloff, sorry, is a Goliath. Tall, white-skinned, red eyes, and unfortunately, is being raised by his grandparents, to which he doesn't know why he's been raised by them all his life. Knows nothing of his parents. And that's about it, to be honest.
Okay. So, like I said, you are in this shack all by yourself. Your grandparents are not there currently. You can assume that they have gone out for the day in order to get ready for their work schedule. You look to your half-made nightstand. You see the letter that was handed to you, and you open it back up again, and you see that the contents of which is inside the letter state, just remember, in order to find yourselves into the army of the king, you must go to the academy, and you must perform admirably. Your score must be higher than a 2.5, and you must at least participate in one extracurricular activity, and you have to do well at that extracurricular activity. We hope to hear from you soon. Let us know what your grades are going to be after the first half of the year, and it's signed by the captain of the guard. You see at the end of your bedside your ripped up backpack. You see your clothes. Everything's laid out for you. It's almost like your grandparents kind of helped you out a little bit and got you somewhat semi prepped for getting ready to go to school. And they also left you a small bag with some copper pieces for you to be able to go and get a trolley to help take you to the academy. What do you do?
How far away exactly is the journey to the trolley?
You would have to, when you come out of the shack, it's in the middle of the town, so it's about like a roughly about a 15-minute walk, and then you'll end up being right where the stations are at. Most of the stations around there are like taxi services, but you can't afford that, so you're going to get something like a horse and carriage.
Okay, well, I walk to take the horse and carriage, I guess.
Okay. You make your way to the middle of the town, and you see where that a bunch of signs up above say like taxi services, and then it gives different prices. Like some are cheaper than others, some are more expensive than others. Uh, that right in the smack middle of all of that is this like run down, beat up little building that has maybe two or three carriages sitting around it. And there is an old man sitting at the end of it. Uh, he looks to you and says, "Paper, coin."
I hand him my paper and coin.
He looks at it. He makes sure that it's where exactly you're going, how much the cost is going to be to get there. Uh, Skims over it, just kind of very quick like. He says, "Aye, number one." And he points to the carriage that's the furthest to the right of you. It's the largest of the three. In order to accommodate.
Ooh,
No.
DMCA already off the bat.
Hmm.
Good thing I had you all
No, no.
muted. Haha.
Hey Tony,
And besides,
there's a very important
you're allowed 2
detail.
seconds.
There's a very important detail you need to bear in mind for when your channel does eventually get monetized.
Sing the "Your Big Fat Bitch" song to him.
Yes.
No. if you cuss within the first 60 seconds of a video, live stream or not, you lose all monetization for that video.
Oh, that's all right. I haven't played music on my channel in a while. Anyway,
So I'm
He's
saying if
also
you
talking about
cuss,
us.
like if you swear, yeah,
Hi, motherfucker.
no, no cussy.
no cussy
Damn it.
wussy.
But is that hurt, Nanny Daddy?
We suddenly bring Charlie in on here.
Oh my god, yes.
You mean mini hacksaw?
Yeah, literally.
Ducky talking shit.
No. Earlier, hacksaw was making some type of noise.
And he
Charlie
copied
heard
it.
it and immediately copied it.
Oh my god.
It was great. I told Gail we were going to teach him yeet yeet skirt skirt.
Oh my god.
Oh God. So you saw that same fucking TikTok too? Huh?
Oh no.
No?
Your younger brother decided to go in and spam my ears off playing Destiny with that shit. So
Overkill, were you not in VC the one night that we literally muted him?
I'm surprised
Pick
you
a
had the balls
night.
to mute hacksaw. That takes a lot of courage.
no, it don't. It takes it takes like 2 seconds. Click, bye.
Like, I know Gail had him turned down to like 1. I had him turned down to 0. Could
realize
still
I've
hear him
had-
coming through somebody else's headset.
Yeah, normally that's you that the audio leaks through.
You
Okay.
realize I've had 36 years to listen to that?
How old's Jay?
What?
Not old enough.
Okay. So we're gonna go ahead and get started.
Is he older or younger than Tony?
Younger.
Way younger.
He's
a baby.
He's older than my brother, but younger than me. Okay. Like I said, we're gonna go ahead and get started. That way we can get this show on the road. So,
Let's get it started.
so
In here.
I am going to give a very brief recap because last session was a new word podcast, a girthy. Like it's a girth,
Ooh.
like thick,
That was thick.
thick. So
With 3 C's.
with 3 C's,
Yeah, chunky.
chonky.
La chunk?
So last we left off, our grand adventurers decided to go in and inspect the congregation that is very well known and very popular in the town of Cross. And they get there, and not all is as it seems. Frankly, it's a lot darker than pretty much all of our players are used to, apart from, the demon in the party.
Hi.
A lot of slaves, a lot of splitting up between like rich, poor, and medium class. And then the priest made an appearance and gave the spew of how that all of the people in town and everybody as guests should adhere to the gods above and praise be to him because he is Lord of Lords and God of Gods, so on and so forth. The whole religious spill thing. But then one of our players...
What is a god to a non-believer?
Ask Ilya that, because...
On bigger fucking challenge.
Because Ilya found out the answer to that question all too well.
Hold on, Tony. I don't mean to interrupt the flow. Shinny, did you get that from Offbeat Outlaw?
A god to a non-believer? No.
Okay. I'm gonna
DBZ
need to go.
abridged.
gonna
Broly,
need-
Yeah.
the Broly movie.
I need to go and find that clip because you just literally quoted Offbeat Outlaw.
Yeah, and I also quoted exactly what Vegeta says to Broly. When Broly goes, "Broly's a god. What's a god to a non-believer?"
Experience points.
Yeah.
Hmm.
We're
Uh,
close to leveling up. He looks like just enough XP.
However, Ilya did find out exactly the answer to the question by receiving a vision from someone up on high, quote unquote, that relays the tale of what truly is going on and why everything is connected. I won't relay the story of what she saw because that is for her and her alone. If you'd like to go and figure out what was shown to her, go check out the episode at a later date.
Or here in about 30 seconds.
Or possibly
Oh.
that. No. Ilya, the moment that she received the vision and was leaded and baptized, as it were, made her way out of the temple and just stormed off. However, being followed by Altair, leaving Allura and Zurin alone in the temple to gather their wits about them and decide amongst them what they wish.
All by myself.
Now, here is the part where I'm going to do that little thing that I promised that I would do before the episode if something were to go down. Trigger warning. This episode has the potential to be very dark, very vulgar, and will have a lot of things that could potentially happen that there's also the possibility that it won't happen at all. But there will be circumstances that could happen that need the trigger warning. So I am giving that to you right the fuck now. If you feel like you need to step away for any reason whatsoever, please step away. Do not come and hound my ass on Twitter or Discord or whatever, telling me that I didn't give you a trigger warning when I am doing it right now live and it is being recorded. I will not accept that bullshit. Have been warned.
Nom.
Nom. Now, we are going to go to the map of Ilya.
DM.
You're the one who left first, being followed by Altair not too far behind because he is a speedy boy.
Fast as fuck, boy.
However, in the last episode that we were here, you made it apparent that you wish to go back to the tavern and inn.
Halt. I said I was going in that direction.
That's what I was about to ask. Are you going all of the way, or are you going to just kind of wing it?
You know what? I'm going back to the tavern.
Okay.
I rolled for it.
Okay. How fast are you moving?
Regular speed. Just
Okay.
regular, like, brisk walking speed.
Altair, if that is the case,
I'm going to catch up immediately.
like literally one dash action will get you right next to that.
I don't even have to take a dash action. Feline agility.
Yeah. So Ilya, you feel a very light breeze blow past your right shoulder. Look over, and Altair is like whoof, right there next to you.
No. On the left.
Oh, on the left. Okay, we'll go on the left.
Am I supposed to be able to see tokens?
No.
Okay.
You had to make that reference, didn't you, Shanny?
Yes.
On your left.
All right.
I mean, because in a sense, that's basically what's happening. Because I'm pretty sure with my speed, I could pull that stunt off.
Yeah, you could. So Ilya, revert that on your left, right next to your left shoulder. You feel the light breeze. You look over to your left. Altair literally is standing right next to you and has changed to a brisk pace to match your movements.
I bet. I pull out the pistol and I hold it to his temple.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Do it.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Because you don't have your pistol.
I feel like Ilya would have gotten her things back while she was walking out.
No, you
picked
did
them
not
up.
state as such. Which means my character still has it.
Okay.
Altair pulls out your pistol and holds it to his temple.
Okay.
What the fuck happened?
Then DM, if this derails, you're gonna have to forgive me.
Gave a trigger warning for a reason.
I cast suggestion.
Okay.
Choose to ignore it before it's even said.
Nope.
Oh, hold on. Can you choose this? You can't choose to ignore it. You've got to make
I can choose to lie to myself and automatically pass that roll.
That's not what I'm worried about. I already knew that he could do that because it's
No.
I
Wait,
designed
what?
I designed his character. He's literally immune to suggestion.
Okay, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
Have you met his goddess?
His goddess gives him immunity to suggestion or any form of mind control.
Unless it's from her.
Yes, unless it's
And
from
then
her.
and then I can't, and then I have no resistance to it.
He can't lie to himself through her because she knows who he is, whereas you have no real control over him. So all he has to do is just tell a blatant lie that he knows is a lie, and then
I believe it.
and then suddenly believe that it's true, and he instantly gains immunity
Oh,
to
shit.
mind control magic. But that's not what I'm worried about.
You forget where we were?
Nope.
I'm a purty kitty.
That's the lie.
Ilya,
I will have you know.
I need you to roll me a wisdom saving.
18.
So you felt that you were able to cast the spell. Like you felt the magic leave you. However, it had no effect on Shinny, and you don't know if it's because of Altair himself or if it's because of this fucked up place you're in. I'm going to go ahead and tell you now, you did pass, and you are lucky.
By the way, since it technically does affect me, but I then believe that it doesn't, I know what you did.
Well, okay, so I'm going to counteract that part
Okay.
because of the fact that of the roles that me and Ilya just both did. So
Okay.
it's the fact that Ilya knows that she cast it, but she doesn't know which one of the two is the correct answer, and she doesn't know if it's because you just weren't affected by it or if it's because of the fact that this place is all fucky wucky with magic shit and has no idea what the rules are for this place. So, what do you do?
Keep walking.
I keep walking with her and repeat the question.
Cool.
What the fuck happened?
Respond at all, Ilya.
No.
Ilya, I need you to do a very slight favor. I need
Very slightly, possibly.
Yes, I need you to roll me a perception. Bond.
Natural 19 for a 19.
Man fucking tastic. Okay.
I have a modifier for perception.
So you were getting close to the tavern and inn, so you're getting pretty close by this point. However, something catches your eye, and you remember that group of people that you guys met as soon as you got into town, the ones that were fully dressed in nice clothing.
Ah,
And
the snooty bitch.
yeah, they're beating the shit out of that poor person in the middle of the fucking road. They've stripped him of his clothes, they've broken his instruments, and they are literally kicking the shit out of him in the middle of the street, and nobody's doing anything.
Ilya grinds to a halt, pivots into their facing their direction, and just full on like a fucking quarterback charging just straight towards them.
Okay.
Oh crap!
Ilya, you're about 60 feet of the location of where they are currently at. It is off to the right bank of where the tavern and inn is going to be. So that by the time that you get there, it will be roughly about 80 feet away from the tavern and inn, but it will be on the left side. You're heading right, and the tavern and inn is on the left.
That's fine.
Okay. So you make a beeline for their location. There are 4 men standing there, 3 of which you have never seen before, but are fully dressed in what looks to be like a suit and tie kind of attire with like these really like high-end makeshift boots made from like different skins of different monsters you may have come across. And then you see the one guy in that you do know that you conversed with. He is quite literally wearing
He's the sheriff, isn't he?
no.
No, the elf that we saw in the tavern was the sheriff.
He is quite literally wearing a suit made out of beholders.
Fancy.
Ilya is going to push her way through the crowd so that she is standing between them and the guy that's getting the shit kicked out of him.
Okay. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw because one of them is in mid swing as you're stepping in between.
Dirty 20.
Okay. I'll say that that's high enough, fairly grazed by the swing as the guy on the far left of the group misses the swing on you and then actually trips over your foot as you're sidestepping him. So he trips over you, and then he falls to the ground. The three other gentlemen, the one that you know and the two that you don't know, they notice you standing there. The one that has spoken to you before and say, "Now, young lady, didn't we have this discussion?"
Yeah, I thought we did. I thought this man had already paid his penance, paid for his crimes, or his fucking so-called crimes as this fucked up little town seems to perceive them. Hasn't he paid enough? Now you gotta stand here wailing on him defenseless? Multiple against one. How heroic, how courageous, how brave.
I mean, he did steal from me. Eye for an eye.
Steal what?
He points to the ground. See a what looks to be like a satchel. It is a very well made satchel. The it kind of looks like a woman's purse in a sense. The purse is made out of similar skin as the suit. It's almost like it's supposed to be a matching set. So you kind of get the assumption with just basic insight that this is probably his wife's purse.
Is it still on the ground?
Yes.
I pick it up and I hand it to him.
Do you look inside the contents inside of the purse as you're handing it?
No, couldn't give a shit.
Fantastic. So you hand it back to him. He looks to you.
Don't fucking thank me, you sanctimonious prick.
Now that's not very nice.
Neither is wailing on a defenseless person.
So he is going to pull out his shotgun. Say, best you.
Or what? You're gonna murder an innocent girl?
You're not innocent. You are interrupting an affair that you have no idea about. Stole from me.
Oh,
And this town is all about eye for an eye. So either move.
so tell me, whose eye for an eye is it gonna be if you kill me?
You're not associated with the town. As far as we are concerned, you are a guest.
Well, ain't that just for my fucking benefit then, huh?
Well, it certainly is for mine. Now, I'm going to ask you nicely once more. Either move and let me finish what I am supposed to according to the bystanders and the laws of this town given to us by the God above, or you can die. Which is it?
Insight check.
Okay.
14. Will he actually pull the trigger?
Yes. He will straight up pull the trigger. And you can I'll give you this as well. You can see tats on his arms have been told by the general store manager that the people who are associated with the academy for the gunslingers that use magic through their guns have tats all over their body.
You know, it's funny. I may not have any academic tutelage with a firearm, but I will bet my bottom fucking copper on whatever piece of shit god it is that this town lives and breathes by, that if you manage to sleep at night with the stains on your name and the stains on your reputation, your god wants nothing to do with you. I spit on his shoes and I walk away.
Okay. You don't hear any more from him. He doesn't say a word. He just all you hear is the click of his shotgun going back into. You walk away and you vaguely hear as they continue to kick and rail the man as you walk away. Altair, you weren't too far away from seeing all of this.
Yeah, I was muted because I was saying things.
But yeah, I was just letting you know that you did witnessed a good majority of that, but not all of it.
I just continue to walk right past Altair and head straight for the tavern. Where are Allura and Zurin at this point?
So I was about to get to that. Allura and Zurin. Technically speaking, we're still at the church. People are starting to leave.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at Allure and just basically be like, we better get our butts out of here too.
I'm just gonna try and blend into the crowd and leave.
So if that is the case, if you'll roll me a stealth check.
Well, I don't do very well because that's a 6.
I'll say that you do well enough to at least make yourself look like you're part of the crowd, but like you're not like super stealthy about it. You're more just like casually, more than like actually focusing on blending in. Zurin, if you would like to make the same roll.
Acting like I belong here.
Yeah, sure, why not? A tiefling amongst the crowd, that sort. Yeah, that's an 8.
Yeah, about the same. So it's more the lines of like you're walking with the crowd, but it's not like you're like fully blending in to go where that you go unnoticed. Especially you, Zurin, being a tiefling, you're like 1 in a billion here. So
A demon waltzing among the flock, yeah, that works.
yeah, so essentially, like people can spot you. Allura's a little bit different because she kind of looks similar to most of the people in this town. So she is a little bit better off in blending in with them than you
Yeah.
are. What direction?
I think we had seen basically Ilya and Altair just basically make a mad dash out of the church, right?
Oh, absolutely, you did see that.
So I'm gonna look at Allure and basically say, we're probably gonna have to just head towards the tavern because I'm pretty sure that's where they're gonna be heading.
Yeah, we should probably head that way.
Cool. So I'm going to say that with you guys blending in the crowd, you're going to go a different route that Ilya and Ayer went. So
Ooh.
Zurin, if you would do kind favor and perception.
Don't do it. It's a trap.
Good gosh, 11.
11? Cool, fantastic.
Mm.
So you see it out of the corner of your eye, and you almost have to take a double take, and you're still not sure if this is exactly what you saw. But you see what looks to be like a body hanging in midair down an alleyway that's dark.
Okay, that's gonna pique the demon's interest. I'm gonna base if is Allura, is she walking like right beside me?
Yes.
I'm gonna basically hold my hand up, basically like a hold on a second, and then point down the alleyway.
Cool.
And just basically head that way.
Okay.
Okay, I'll follow.
Roll another percent as you make lower the closer you.
18.
Cool. You see somebody has hanged themselves in the middle of the alleyway, in a dark alleyway. There are 3 bodies underneath that body that has hung themselves. All 3 of them have been stabbed multiple times, and they are children. And on the body that is hung from the neck, from the top of a raft, is the sign that says sinner.
Oh, Tony, you added children into this.
I told you it was dark.
Jesus
ho, ho,
Christ.
ho, ho.
I told you it was going to be dark. I gave a trigger warning.
Oh, I know, but you're talking to a dad here. I'm going to investigate the area.
Okay. So, roll me an investigation check.
And
I'll let you pass with it.
okay,
So you're not going to get a lot of information. It's going to be more like what ifs, essentially. So the way it's laid out, it's almost like it's too perfect. It almost seems like it was thought out.
staged.
It was staged.
Oh crap!
Now, I will give you one small detail that should already pique interest, as you go up to the body that is hung by the neck and look at his right ankle. It's the small tattoo to represent a trait.
What symbol is the tattoo?
It's the one of the same one that you saw from the beggar, where he was in prison for essentially magic.
Based on that, I'm going to guess that these kids were all magic wielders.
It's up to you. That's what I'm giving you with a 10.
This town just seems to get more and more fucked up as I go along. Crap. Alara, we're going to have to deal with this extremely quickly before things get too out of hand. We need to go find the others. This is ridiculous. And Zern is just basically going to start walking out of the alleyway towards the tavern.
Fantastic.
I'll follow.
So we'll go back over to Altair, Ilya now. You have now made it to Tavern and Inn. You have just got to the.
I just sorry, I just burst through the door and make a beeline from the bar.
Okay. So I'm going to swap this over. For those that don't know, welcome back to the Broken Crossbow. This is our little tavern. Aaron and Allura, I am down below. Represent that you will be arriving at some point when I tell you to walk in. Currently, Ilya and Altair, you are the only two apart from the barmaid that is in here. This person there because they are not there.
Bye-bye.
Tony
I shot the sheriff.
Tony, out of session, did we ever get the name of the bartender?
You did not.
Okay.
Up to the bar and she looked. You look like you've seen a ghost.
What's the strongest bottle you got in this place?
She goes to the edge. And you see her grab 4 glasses. Not 2, 4. See her take out a bottle that looks like this very, like, bright golden liquid. Pours it into 2 cups. And then takes a tea kettle. Pours it into the other 2. Puts the the 3 cups on a tray and brings them over to an Altair and passes you cups each. In one cup is the golden liquid. In the other cup, steaming hot cup of tea.
Ilya's not even thinking. She just takes what she assumes is the alcohol and just necks it.
Okay. Roll a con save with
14.
14. Okay. So do fail, but not so badly that like it's going to be detrimental. Very negative way. So essentially, what's going to happen is that you're going to get so drunk in that exact moment that you're going to receive a level of exhaustion. Then you look up and you see the barmaid push the tea in front of you. Doesn't say a word, just pushes the teacup right in front of you. What do you do?
I just look at her and go, what the fuck is this meant to do? I asked for alcohol.
Drink alcohol. That's to sober you up.
I just palm it away.
Alright.
I neck Altair's shot before he can even touch it.
Cool, you auto fail. You are out cold and you have 3 levels of exhaustion.
Oh,
Hold on. I would like to attempt to stop that.
Okay, roll a. So each of you need to roll opposed to one another. So each roll, I'm gonna say, make it a. Ilya roll sleight of hand. Altair roll. I'm gonna say athletic. Trying to pick about. Try to snap.
So I roll sleight of hand with disadvantage because I've got a level of exhaustion, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's gonna be a 19.
Cool. Altair.
And you literally chose the one thing. Because if it was acrobatics or sleight of hand, that'd be good.
I was thinking acrobatics to begin with, but this is more like you're trying to be quick about it. So, like, yeah, in my head, I'm thinking athletics for being speed.
But wouldn't dexterity be something speed based, like a dex check? But athletics is strength based.
I'm gonna let you choose. Or in this scenario, this is one of those ones I could see both. So I will let you choose one. Acrobatics or athletics.
I'm doing acrobatics because that way I at least have a chance of. And that just rolled right off. I managed to tie it with 19.
Okay. All right. So beats it. So
I pushed the glass back towards the barmaid.
Okay. She takes it and she puts it underneath the counter.
I'm gonna burn this whole fucking town to the ground.
That's acceptable. But first, what the fuck happened?
Would Allura and Zoran be back right now?
Not yet. Not yet.
Okay.
At this time, I start sipping the tea.
Okay.
What?
The tea is
What?
The tea is very good. Like it's very good tea.
good day to you, chap.
Hey Tony, remember what Eli was saying he was gonna do last night?
Yeah.
You're preparing.
I'm gonna take that as a no.
No, I said yeah.
But you didn't come through.
Oh, my
Oh,
bad.
I'm-
My
Yeah,
bad.
I heard him.
I'm doing it.
Yeah,
I
fair.
heard
Fair
him.
enough. This would be the night to do it.
yeah. So that's why I was saying you're basically preparing.
Ilya just puts an elbow on the bar, puts her head in her hands. You want to know what this place believes in? I'll tell you.
Messed up, fucked up version of Satan worshipping.
I mean, technically, he's not wrong.
Yeah. Trust me, I am all with you on the burning this place to the ground.
Zer's ears perk up. Someone talking about Grandpa?
We might not get that fucking chance. Their god is Allura and Val's patron's son.
Can you describe the voice? Actually, hold on,
Elaborate
hold
on that. Out of session, elaborate on that.
My character is trying to figure out if it's the same voice that he heard when he tried to get in touch with his goddess.
Tony, was there any like distinguishable indicators about the voice
There
of Zara?
So okay, so no for Xeris, yes for Fury. Which
I'm
is
talking about
now,
Zaris the Decayed.
yeah. There's now a distinct voice for him. Yes, you just haven't heard it yet.
Right. Ilya is just white knuckled with anger, trying to make sense of how inconceivably intricate everything that has happened in the last year has been, from the jester to everything happening at the academy to the books to Val to her lies to her coming clean to Allura and then the goddess Allura and then Allura and Val casting aside those voices in their head and Val's former patron and aligning with the Ice Queen. And then trying to come to terms with the sheer, what looks like on the sense of it, the randomness and the unpredictability and the coincidental 1 in a trillion chance this is all lining up. And she can't make heads or tails of it. It doesn't add up. It doesn't. There's no path of logic. There's no timeline where all of this like connects cleanly. And now she knows that this antagonistic force that wants to raise everything to the ground is the son of her friend's patron. And now she doesn't trust that patron. She doesn't trust the Ice Queen as far as she can spit. And she's trying her hardest not to let it taint the trust that she's got with Allura and Val.
Did I pledge to the ice cream?
I thought you did.
No. It was just Val.
thought
Oh, is
I
it just
pledged
Val?
soon.
Yeah.
Are you?
So,
Oh,
yeah,
okay. You're soon. Okay.
Allura is soon. Val is Ice Queen.
Okay, then forgive me.
Ah, you're good. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't like misremembering.
No,
I got my deities wrong.
I was going to correct it when he was done, but I wanted to wait.
That's fair.
Tony's like, I'm gonna wait for you to fuck around and find out.
She's gonna hit the fan.
Can't see my.
Roll
deity.
me a insight check, Altair.
Insight 18.
Okay. So, from what it sounds like that Ilya has told you about the events that she's relaying to you, it also doesn't add up to you. So, from your perspective, you only know of two: the Ice Queen and Xeris. But you know for a fact that Xeris is chaotic good. You were given that evidence a while ago. Something's not adding up.
Does Altair voice that confusion at all?
I mean, he doesn't really hide his facial expressions.
Ilya looks at you dead in the eyes and says, yeah, it doesn't add up, does it? Like there's an entire chapter of this story that we haven't seen yet, that we haven't learned about, that wasn't made public knowledge. As though it's been stripped away from the pages of history.
By the way,
cast
Tony,
him
I'm
aside.
Tony, I'm making an insight check to see if my character thinks of something really dumb.
Okay. While you're doing that,
I'm just gonna say if it's a
Zurin and
well, I'm saying if it's a high roll, he does.
okay.
Like over a 10.
Zurin and Allura, at that point of when he makes that roll, you guys would just be coming in.
Zern's basically gonna swing the doors open as hard as he freaking can.
Yep.
Allura's just gonna lag behind and get smacked in the face by the doors and then push them open. Because they swing back with that much force. I'm not ready for it.
Don't let the door hit you on the way in.
DM 14.
Okay, so
Yeah, just rubbing her nose. Allura's gonna be like, yeah, thanks.
So my character's thought process is, what if they're not connected? What if this isn't what we think it is, and it's something completely separated?
your answer is maybe.
And well, I relate this thought process. What if we're not dealing with what we know? What if we're dealing with something that has a basis of the closest I can possibly get to describing this is, what if we're dealing with a different chain of events than what is in our history? A alternate timeline, if you will.
Then we need to get the fuck off this timeline. We need to get back home. Because if we don't do what we came here to do and don't do it quickly, there's a chance we won't make it home at all. What if this is all connected, Altair? What if this is connected and Val needs to know about this? What if she's blindly walked herself into a trap? What if this fury is making a beeline for her? Or a beeline for his mother? And is going to use or sideswipe or blindside Val in order to get to her. What's the best way to go after a deity? Go after the ones that follow them. We don't know jack shit about the Ice Queen. We don't know how far her reach extends. We don't know how influential she is. We don't know how many people follow her. Val could be the only fucking one on this plane for all we know.
I know for a fact that's not true.
Ilya doesn't. That's why she's saying it.
Oh no. That's my character being like, no. There's more. I about was one of them.
Zurin and Allura, like I said, you are currently in, and you're in the middle of this conversation. So you should be. You are in the middle of this conversation. You're listening to what's going on, and you kind of pick up the pieces of what's happened, just by context. You don't know the full layout. You just know that from what you just heard of Val, her deity, and that Ilya is upset, kind of get the notion that it's going right back into that scenario again. Just don't really know why. Say.
I'm noticing that Zern's going to make his way up to the bar. And he's going to sit down with a loud thump and slam his fists on the bar.
Easy there, cowboy.
And look at Ilya and just be like, you will not believe the shit I have just fucking witnessed today.
You will not believe the shit that fucking zealot of a priest has just shown me.
The hell did you see?
I'm gonna relay everything that I saw
Cool.
to
Zurin.
Zern and Allura.
Zurin.
Mm-hmm.
Moment that Ilya finished that, she relays to you the whole shebang. Tells you she sees the two brothers side by side, standing against one another towards their mother. You hear the conversation that is being relayed between the two of them, that one was blessed and one was cursed. Get all of that. Then all of a sudden, you feel dizzy.
Why does it have to be tieflings?
We go to a black screen. Everybody but Zurin
Oh, God.
and Diffin.
Great.
Damn it,
Oh.
Tony, I didn't do it.
Yeah, I'm waiting. This was coming.
Oh, of course it was.
My good friend Zurin. You were
My semi-trusted DM.
You were transported. It doesn't feel like that your body is moving. It feels more like your soul. Your soul is being transported. Find yourself in a... Funny enough, you find yourself in another tavern. Except that
Thank God.
Instead of the one that you currently see, where it's all bright lights and fancy attires and looks really nice, this one seems like that chairs are rotten. The lights have a blue flicker. And the one that stands behind the bar is not the female that you know. Instead, one of skeletal nature. one undead. He looks to you as he leans over the bar and he says, "So, have the pieces been aligned yet? Or are you still struggling?"
Well, it would seem like a lot of things have been aligned, but not in the way I'd intended them to. I'm still kind of scratching my head as to figuring out why this is all happening to begin with.
It's quite simple. Two brothers, odds with one, fighting over a territory that only they understood. One had to be the winner, other loser. However, your friend Ilya and Altair, was it? Not wrong to assume that there's a piece of the puzzle that is missing. What if I gave you that piece?
At this point, Zern's going to shake his head and just be like, well, yeah, I definitely want that piece.
You ever heard of the story of the deity known as the Deceiver?
Well, I need to roll a history check on that, Tony.
Yes. Was the voice coming
Okie dokie.
through, by the way?
It was. There was some points where it kind of cut out a little bit, so I
Okay.
almost didn't hear.
Okay. But yes, please roll me a history check on the Deceiver.
Question: is the Deceiver a fae or a fiend?
So I don't know how Mayhem has it set, but in this version, he is a fiend.
Okay, so then I would have advantage on anything on him then.
Okay. We'll go ahead and roll with advantage.
$19 plus 2 for 21.
Okay. So, you remember vaguely reading a story in the library when you did that little research project some time back?
Uh-huh.
You remember reading a book, and it kind of just, you weren't really interested at it at the time. It was more of the lines you were looking for something specific on, like gaining new spells and magic and shit, because that was part of the project you were doing. But
Right.
you vaguely remember seeing something. It was a book that relayed the story of three heroes. One by the name of Xeris Longstrider, another by the name of Allura Adaragon, and the last one name of Anon. These three heroes made a journey with the blessings of the gods themselves to go in and defeat a deity who was a traitor known as the Deceiver, who was sent down from heaven and stripped of all of his abilities and powers, but was able to regain said powers through the acts of darkness, evil, and decay. Now, here's where the story gets a little fucked up. Get to where that you start to read the end of that story, and it's blank. It's just,
Either it was not written.
it's almost like somebody tore out the pages of that book. Like somebody left out a huge chunk of the ending. It was missing. one behind the counter goes and looks to you and says, "Ring any bells?"
That story never ended. Or at least someone did not want us to hear the ending of that story.
Your friend had it spot on. There are multiple endings to this story, and you're in one of them. Here's the answer to your question. The ending of my story is that the one known as Xeris possessed another, a twin, held within his body at birth through a curse that was not of his own, but through the makings of his two parents, a demon lord of hell and a deity among high. Xeris and his brother Fury were cursed at birth to live in the same body and suffer through amounts of torture, pain, and cruelty of the likes of which none had ever seen before. I tried my best over many millennia to thwart such deeds. I went to different realities to try to change the settings of this said story, but every single time it ended in my demise. Except for one. You haven't picked up on it yet. I used to be the deceiver.
What do you mean you used to be the deceiver?
Fury made a deal. In this reality, at least. Fury hid a deal with me as the deity to where that I would be free of my curse of being submitted to the ideals and the philosophies of that of my brothers and sister and father, of being this deceiver that they created. And I would change into something else. Something better and far less evil. More neutral now. However, the consequences for that deal was that Yuri would take my place. Hence, in this world, in this reality,
Hey, here's the thing. Here's the thing. It's not
he
that you
betrayed
work
his
for. You're not
brother,
gonna earn, you know,
he betrayed
full,
his mother,
okay?
and he betrayed his friends. Set them all aside as if they were nothing but mere playthings. And then wondered why that he was going to be damned by his own mother for the betrayal.
So what you're getting at basically is the fact that Fury is now the new deceiver.
In this reality, yes. But there's more to this story that meets the eye. Your friend Locke is also connected.
What kind of connection does he have to all this?
Didn't you find it ironic that he came from this world? Didn't you find it ironic that nobody knows who his real family is? That he was suddenly taken by two humans from a different reality, a different world entirely, and brought back. However, the story continues to repeat over and over and over again. Kind of like a time loop. Find that a little ironic.
I did find it surprising that he even came from this world to begin with.
Like to take a guess who his descendants come from.
I'm gonna take a wild stab in the dark that he's probably in the same lineage as the deceiver who is now Fury.
Wrong.
Oh.
Born from an egg found in the wild, raised by a dark elf. Raised by a Lara Aragon and her.
And one of the three heroes raised him.
Correct. However, there is something that needed to be done in order to bound the new deceiver into place, to keep him here, to prevent him from doing what I did and freeing himself of the burdens of which he struck as a contract with me in the beyond. Locke was a sacrifice to keep him here. Hence, the time loop. Locke was always meant to come back, and the moment that he arrived meant the renewal of such time loop. You brought your friend here not knowing that it would reset the clock. And the events that transpired the day of which the fateful moment of his departure to a new world would happen over and over and over again. Never ending, a torture of which was not supposed to happen, but did because of the bravery of what Locke did before he knew even how to so much as walk on his own 2 feet. Which is where
So
I'm
he said,
going to give you a warning. You have put yourself into the position of the time loop, which means that you will come across Zarus, the betrayer, as he is now called. He will have the powers of the deceiver. But you and your friends now have a choice. Your choice is 1, you kill the new deceiver once and for all, removing him from the equation entirely. However, by doing so, you lose your friend Locke. He will be gone for eternity. Or you can do what his adopted parents did and take the child back with you and reset the clock again, leaving the deceiver in this time loop of which he is trapped, only to know in the back of your mind that Locke will return against his will over and over and over again. But you will have saved your friend for now until he comes of age. That is the
I'm
warning.
not in the.
That is the warning that I give you. It took every fiber of my power to get here to be able to speak with you, and my time is up. This will not happen.
Well, the information you gave me was startling and a lot more heavy-hearted than I would have wanted it to be. But I will take your options into consideration.
So be it. You watch as the tavern around you swirls in a blue fire over and over, as if like it is creating a massive flame tornado, destroying everything in sight. Your vision blurs, and then you come back. To you, it has only been maybe a millisecond, but give or take. And here is where we are going to bring your friends back.
Oh.
All right. Tony, in that instance, can I do something?
You may.
Okay. After that little snap back, everyone, you're going to see Zern do something he hadn't done in a minute. He's going to calmly place his palms on the bar and start banging his horns into the bar. And just start screaming, "Son of a bitch!"
What the fuck is going on?
Is this happening like literally a split second after I finish talking to him?
Like literally a millisecond. The moment the last word comes out of your mouth, it happens right then. Now, I will give you this, Ilya, and technically Alora, if you're standing right next to Ilya. Altair, you're not going to get as much of this. So, Alora, Ilya, I want you both please roll perception checks as if this ad hall just started.
It's like a 13.
You don't want to ask.
Alora, you see it.
Okay.
The moment that Ilya speaks her final word, Zurin's eyes go black. They go pitch black to the point to where that upon further gaze, it feels like you are falling into an infinite darkness of the likes of which you have never known.
Okay.
And then within a split second after looking through those eyes, he comes back. Normal. Nothing's wrong. Turns around and then just starts wailing his head on the desk.
Okay. In session. Jesus fuck, Zurin, what the hell was that? You sound like a fucking, like, I don't know.
That sounds like Grandpa.
It looks like a buffalo.
Your grandpa got something to do with this?
Let me tell you guys a little story. I
Okay.
just had a conversation, and I don't know, Ilya, you might know who this is. I just had a conversation with the former deceiver. And I mean former deceiver. Guess who the new one is?
You what?
I had a chit chat with an old deity. And he just basically made a deal with someone to pass on his powers and
Oh, let me make it perfectly clear. He's your deity. Sign the contract. Didn't you wonder why it was asked you to come out? Why he would state that?
wait, is my deity?
Yes. Yes. By you coming here, he regained his memories.
I signed a contract with the former deceiver.
Did indeed.
You done fucked up, Aaron.
Huh. Well, I did. Anywho, Fury is the new one. He made a deal with the old one. And Locke. Oh gosh. Where do I even start? Locke was a sacrifice from one of the heroes, Alera, to essentially contain the new deceiver in this infinite time loop. He was meant to come back here. And now we have to make a decision on whether or not we kill the deceiver and at the same time lose Locke, or we get Locke away from here, keep Fury in this infinite time loop, and Locke still has to come back here and deal with all this madness.
Upon hearing the name Alura's gonna sort of perk up, mishearing, or thinking that Zurin had like said her own name wrong,
Sure.
and be like, I'm sorry, I did what now?
Not Allura, Alera.
May roll
Who
a,
the fuck is
Lara.
you may
Who the
roll
fuck
a
is Alara?
you may roll a history check if you wish.
Oh wait, would Alara canonically know who Alara is?
No.
Fuck it, history check. Let's go. What's the modifier?
If,
It's not great. That's an 8.
depending on your roll, I'll give you the reason why.
Okay, it's an 8.
8. You've heard the name before, but you don't know where. You don't know why.
Something to do with the legend of a butcher.
Anybody can make that history, by the way.
Oh. 18.
Fantastic.
Oh mayhem.
Mayhem?
Oh mayhem.
Mayhem?
Uh-oh.
Where I can see his face.
He goes right back to face palming.
Is his mic cut out?
Nope, 21 on history.
Okay, cool. Ooh. Altair and Ilya. Recall the story of Alera Daragon. Story goes that three heroes, one by the name of Xeris Longstrider, other by the name of Alara Dar, and the other by the name of Anon. Three heroes traveled on an epic adventure across the lands in order to rid the world of a deity who was sent down because of a traitorous bastard and losing his powers in order to regain them to take on his siblings and father. However, one bit of information that puzzles you. With the notion of what Zurin has just told you,
Can't really reach.
the book of which relays the story,
We have water.
the pages at the end are missing. Almost as if that a portion of it has been ripped out. Zurin just confirmed the ideals of what somebody here just said a few moments ago. This is a different time loop.
Wibbly wobbly, timey wimey.
Now,
Okay.
I'm going to relay the story to each of you as if that Zurin has relayed the story to you because it will make a lot more sense. Zurin's deity is, in fact, the former deceiver. From this timeline, see, what the deceiver had did in this timeline was that he made a deal with Fury. Fury never got the chance to change and wanted to be free of his brother and his imprisonment. So he made a deal with the deceiver. He would receive his freedom, but he would take on the mantle as the new deceiver, thus freeing the deceiver of his entire role of constantly at war with his siblings, knowing that he was going to have a losing battle. He had given up. So he gave the powers willingly to Fury, which then Fury turned against his brother and two friends, and thus was given the title the Betrayer. Hence why that he was refused access into heaven. Now, here's where the story also changes in this reality. Nobody knows what happened to Anon. But we do know what happened to Allura in this timeline. She was granted the title of Immortal. She lived on for decades, never aging a day. Until,
Really shouldn't have called my character Lara.
however, something changed. There was a day of which that she was in the forest and she came across a giant black egg. She took that egg back to her homestead and decided that she wanted to hatch it. Thus, Locke was born. Raised Locke as her own. However, upon Locke's third birthday, she was given a choice. The new deceiver had finally arrived, and Alara was by her lonesome, could not fend against a deity a second time. But the option she was given was one that most people would not have done except for heroes. She was told that she could take the child as a sacrifice to trap the new deceiver into an infinite time loop of which he could never escape as long as Locke stayed here. Hence the notion of that heroes are always the ones to be able to sacrifice another for the greater good. So Locke was given that said sacrifice in a way to where that he was trapped in the infinite time loop. This event that you guys are in currently is towards the end of that time loop. So there will come a point to where that each of you will face to face against the new deceiver, and you are given a choice according to what Zurin has told you. You can either, one, outright kill the new deceiver once and for all, ending the time loop, but also ending the curse that was laid upon Locke, therefore ending his life like immediately. Like the moment upon the deceiver's death, Locke is outright dead. No coming
That's
back.
how you're doing this.
No coming back. Or go with option B. You can do as his adoptive parents did and save Locke, leaving the deceiver to his destructive manners and resetting the time loop. But as soon as you leave this place with Locke, Locke will be an infant. He will have to grow.
Huh.
He will have to grow back into maturity, in which case the moment upon him reaching said maturity, the coming of age, something will transpire that will force him back here to reset the time all over. Hence why it's a video game. Because it's just like in a video game where you get to start, finish, and then start it again. The reset button.
And I don't know about y'all, but I don't know anything about raising no baby Kenku.
No. Locke's
Sadly.
been through a lot with us. Wherever he is.
Zurin, you know he's here.
I just don't know where.
Don't know where, but you also know that he is an infant at this time. He is a baby.
Is this a case of reverted to infancy with or without memories?
Without.
So even if we did save him and raise him again, it wouldn't be the same Locke we knew.
Correct.
That I'm not killing anyone.
Yeah, hence why that his parents, his adoptive parents that you guys know, made the choice that they did. Because you remember they came here. But they made the choice of saving Locke instead of taking on the deceiver because they felt that they were not strong enough. So they took Locke, they left this world, and went back to your world and raised them as their own.
My question is, does this town even deserve to be saved?
Zurin, I will also tell you this because I didn't relay this information to you while you were here. You know what book he has. So I just seen Mayhem. He's the book of which that you were told that he has possession of is very fitting. Book of Pride. You are currently in possession of the Book of Wrath and the Book of Gluttony. But the
Mhm.
new deceiver has the Book of Pride.
So upon hearing the mention of the Book of Gluttony, Allura's eyes just twitch.
Bagels, anyone?
I love how we've legit given my character PTSD for bagels.
In order for us to get this book, Locke is gonna have to be sacrificed. I hate to say it, but we have no other options if we're gonna get that book.
I did wonder how you were going to go about this.
Did give a trigger warning and say that this was going to be a very dark and very sinister.
Mm-hmm.
I'm waiting for that to happen.
It's partially.
Yeah, that's not really the dark bit for me.
This is the start of it. It depends on what you do from here because there are scenarios that I have up on my screen right now that depending on your decisions that you make from this point forward will determine whether or not those events actually happen or not.
Mm.
I'll even give you a little bit of leeway. There are 5 directions that you can go with this. 5.
You really do have to plan everything out, don't you?
Oh yeah, I do. There are
No, not like a you personally thing. Just as a DM, you've got to plan for every eventuality.
Oh,
God
yeah.
damn.
Yeah. So out of those 5, 3 of them are really bad, but they all have different ways that they are bad. 2 are mediocre. They're like tame.
I'm just gonna spit this out there. We need to find Alara.
I agree. Whoever
Is
this
this-
person is, she knows what's going on.
What do you think, Ilya?
I don't know.
Bartender looks at all of you and says, "You all sound drink. So do I. So I'm gonna go get us a drink. Figure out all of that, whatever that was. That made my head.
Oh, trust me, darling, you ain't the only one with a hurting head.
You ain't seen nothing yet.
I
She
want to go see if I can find those whale lynxes. I need something to punch.
she goes back into the kitchen and buggers off for now. So she finds something strong to drink. Now, you have some time to role play out whatever you want to role play here. Completely up to you. Wish to get a long rest. Want to be that time to do so.
I could do with at least a rest because I'm down to 20 out of 25 right now. So
Yeah, I think Zern's probably gonna sleep on it and try to figure out what to do next.
long or short, I can take or leave it because I mean 5 hit points. You know, I can potentially get that back, but I don't know where everyone else is.
What time of year?
Surprisingly, I'm at full.
Altair and Ilya, what I want to do.
Long rest.
Okay.
I'm fine to do whatever the party wants to do.
I'll take the long. Yeah.
Yeah, that'll work.
Sounds phenomenal. So I will give you a long rest. Guys will wake up towards. So it was actually morning when you guys got back over here, because it was like the early morning church
Whoa.
services. So you
Why am
guys
I down to 19?
you will all sleep through and wake back up in the middle of the night. And bartender is back. She's tending to customers, and I'm gonna app because
Oh, the sheriff.
so she is back sitting at her usual spot. There are several customers in here now instead of like this morning where it was just you guys. Everybody's kind of sitting at their own tables, eating dinner, drinking drinks, basically going about their normal day. Now, here's where I'm gonna do something. You said you wanted to punch shit.
Only an offhand comment, fucking hell. But if those werelynxes are still out there,
Oh, it's not the werelynxes.
that guy on the right don't look too happy. Why are the werelynxes still on the map, by the way? Are they
Because
just...
I just haven't deleted them.
That's fair. I wondered if they were just, like, collapsed outside the tavern this entire time.
I just haven't deleted.
Over the course of the whole Steep Roost adventure, they just start decaying outside the tavern.
Why does it stink outside?
Smells like
there's
dead
a pile
cat.
of shits. Because there's piles of shit outside.
Smells like
Is it-
dead cat out there.
Because the DM hadn't cleared out the dead corpses yet.
Trash.
I have concerns, but
Go punch him.
Okay.
yeah, well,
There's only going to be 3 of them, so this is one of those scenarios that fits with the 5 different paths choice.
bar fight round 2.
Oh, gods.
Bar fight round 2.
Each of you are sitting at the bar, you're eating dinner, drinking your drinks, yada, yada, yada. You know, the usual spill. And then all of a sudden you hear the door swing wide the fuck open like Zurin did.
Mm.
Turn around, it's the guys from earlier, or Ilya. The one that carrying the shotgun and 2 of his men.
By the way, she's got her gun back.
Fun.
Oh no, I was saying that it had been passed back by this point.
Yeah. The 3 of them walk in. So the one that is the one with the shotgun is this one. Far left.
Far left. Okay.
The other 2 are his minions. So the 3 of them walk in, spot you guys. And then the one in the middle, this one here, looks to you 4 and says, by the authority of the church, we have been asked to come in and retrieve the 4 of you for questioning. So if you so kind as to follow us and take you down to the station and ask you guys if you
Fuck off.
see the one at the top, the one that's held the shotgun out. Look and say, "You are not very lady, are you?"
You're not worthy of my fucking manners. Don't make me say it twice.
See the sheriff get up. She makes her way over here and say, "There's something I could help you three with." And you see the one turn around and says, "Yes, this is official church business. If you could kindly fuck off, and either that or arrest these four and have them brought into chains for questioning."
Allura cracks her knuckles, staring him square in the eyes, and says, "I'd like to see you fucking try."
Zern's got his hand on Bashaba on his back, and is turned around, his eyeballing the guy who just basically seems like the leader. And he's basically going to say, "I'm going to only tell you once. Back the fuck off."
So you see this one pull out the shotgun. This one
At the same time,
pull out two revolvers.
Zern's going to pull out Bashaba.
Yeah, so he's going to pull out two revolvers. He's going to pull out a shotgun, and he's going to pull out what looks to be like a it kind of looks like a rifle, but the ends of it is like sawn off.
Am I close enough to reactively do something?
As they're pulling out their weapons, sure.
Am I close enough to the guy with the shotgun to try and you know when you see someone like raise a weapon and a so-called unarmed person just disarms them and
So I'm gonna say
flips it and like
I'm gonna say that's a form of an attack, but because you're not proficient at doing that, just roll a d20 manage to like hit them.
Okay. Nat 20.
Oh god.
Okay.
Oh god.
Fantastic. Okay, so you're not gonna do damage doing this.
No, I'm not. I don't want to do damage. I want to disarm him.
Okay, so essentially what you're gonna do is you're gonna get like right up at him, and this is gonna be like an opportunity attack essentially.
Yep, I'll take it.
But essentially what you do is that in the midst of him pulling out his shotgun from his back strap, grab a hold of his right arm and then just sling the shotgun down, and he drops it on the floor. He looks down at the shotgun confused. I need everybody to roll.
I kind of wanted to do that a little bit differently, but I will.
Actually,
Gonna try like grab it and empty the chamber so that it couldn't be fired. That's a 9.
Oh boy.
Oh no, hang on. No, I need to have my initiative modifier. Hang on, that's a 11.
11.
Sorry.
That's fine.
Keep forgetting there's a modifier for initiative.
Ilya got a 21. Allura got 11. I need Altair and Zurin, please.
13.
Now, obviously, because I've not attacked with the intent of damage, I think I can still potentially take a diplomatic route here.
Whoa.
It might be possible to convince them to leave.
Oh, no, not 203.
203? What the fuck?
Sorry. Oh, no, I'm pressing the wrong buttons. Ah, God.
20 slash. Oh, my God.
It's okay. Hey, Tony. I accidentally typed in too many.
Too many zeros. Okay.
Like that's what I heard. Nope, that's not right. 'Cause I
Right,
typed
quickly
in
roll me a
2000.
D200. It's a fucking ball.
You're right. It would be because the D100 is basically a.
D100 is already a ball, so a D200 would just be like a smooth sphere. Wait a minute. Surely something must exist. Oh, it does exist.
So 20.
D120 is kind of interesting.
Okay. So in turn order, we've got Ilya, Altair, the big burly redheaded dude, the sheriff, Zurin, Allura, shotgun dude, and dual wielding pistols.
So we go for the ginger first, right?
I mean, that's fitting after, me putting you all in distress and anxiety.
No anxiety here.
Only rage.
I could attest to that. I could see that. I can see Xeris getting his balls kicked next session.
There's actually a name for it. A D200 would be a dihectohedron.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
All right.
A dihecahedron die.
Yeah.
Ilya, you are up first.
I'm holding a reaction.
Cool.
That's it.
Altair.
Also holding reaction.
Jesus Christ.
And this is how we mess with the DM when he tries to mess with us.
Okay. Exactly. So I'm going to. So he's going to cast a cantrip.
So they're allowed to use magic. I see how it is.
Through their gun, yeah.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. Do I have one of those?
Have a gun.
I have a gun. Okay.
So he is going to cast.
Please add that then.
He is going to cast Eldritch Blast at Allura. That is a miss if I ever saw one.
Oh, come on then. What'd you roll?
I rolled a 5.
Yeah, that definitely misses.
Second beam.
Point blank range as well.
Second beam though probably will hit. Does a 16 hit you?
Yes, it does.
So the way that their spell casting works through their gun, they replace the gun damage with extra damage towards their spell casting.
Oh.
So in this case, it is going to be, instead of the 1d12, it's going to be 1d10 plus 4 for damage for Eldritch Blast. 1d10 from the Eldritch Blast plus 4 from the gun. 12 damage, Eldritch Blast, force damage.
12!
Okay.
Jesus.
That is his turn. The sheriff is going to go over and try to persuade them to back off and let her handle it. That's her role.
By the way, at this point, Altair looks over at man, why do I keep forgetting your characters?
Mine?
Yeah.
Ilya.
Oh yeah, that's because there's like 3 different names that are really freaking. But looks over at Ilya with the look in the eyes of just, are we burning it now?
Okay. So He looks to her and says, "Have one chance. If they are not there, the hour, you're going with them." Turns around and says, "Holster your weapons." When I give her the opportunity to do her job, and if she fails, he will go to the dungeons. See the other two holster their weapons, and then just give a big burly grin as if they had just won.
Oh no, come at me, bitch.
And they
Just to fucking do something. Like,
scamper off
As they get to the door,
back then.
they're gonna hear Ilya call it separation of church and state, bitch.
And you walking, and they're laughing as they do it.
all right, one of you hold me back here because Allura is just going to be like scrambling to try and go after them and just like let me fucking tear his throat out.
Zern's gonna wrap his tail
No
around
one's gonna stop
Allura's.
you.
No, Zern's gonna wrap his tail around Allura's waist.
Let me fucking get to him.
let me
go.
Let me punch somebody.
Down, kitty.
I didn't get a chance.
Hold on. What are you telling me to get calm down for?
I'm telling her to calm down.
I'm the cat.
Down, Bessie.
Hang on a minute.
Okay, but in all seriousness, the sheriff walks around and says, "Okay, I'm too drunk to remember who even the four of you are, but I'm not so drunk as to know what's about to probably fucking happen. You have the opportunity to leave. Just leave. Let's go. Like, you don't want to be a part of this. It's bad."
Zern's gonna pipe up at the sheriff and be like, "Where is Alara Adaragon?"
Okay. She looks to you and says, "Sir, Alara's been dead for like..."
Where's
Okay,
her
where's her
house?
grave?
Her grave? What the hell do you want with her grave?
To dig her corpse up and fist fuck it. What do you think we want?
I don't know.
Fucking
Like,
hell.
We want to know
Dark.
where her house is, not her grave. Although that would also be decent information in case we have to do things.
Okay.
Like fist fuck the.
Okay.
my God.
Okay. You know what? Okay. Cool. You do you. So her house has been torn down. So that's no longer there. Might have some things left over in the bank. I don't know. Go over there and check out. Or her grave. It's back behind the church where all the other graves are at.
So what I want to know is how did this so-called immortal die?
Not know what she did.
Nope.
Let me guess. She betrayed someone real bad, fucked up real bad, did something shitty, and paid the ultimate price.
No. Gave up her immortality. Said she was tired of living a life of this shit. It was much for her to handle. Gave up her ability to live forever and died of natural death. I mean, we don't know why she gave it up, but she just outright came in. As a matter of fact, she came into this very bar and said, "I'm giving up my immortality," and then he tried to on her out of it because she was the strongest one in this town, and she's like, "Nope, I'm done." Gave it up, and then 2 years ago, she passed away after she gave up her immortality of a natural causes.
Where's the child that she had?
As far as I know, she didn't have any kids.
So the name Locke doesn't mean anything to you?
Not off the top of my head, no. There's a bunch of kids over at the orphanage, but like,
At this point, as soon as she hears about the bunch of kids at the orphanage, Allura's just going to straight signal to the three. Right, let's go.
And you all told us, right?
But
You all told us about what you saw on the way back.
No, I didn't get to that point. I was transported to the realm of undead deities.
Well, then my character's going to be like, well, hold on. We need to find the personal effects first.
Where's the bank?
street's down, but it's closed at this time of like almost midnight.
no problem.
Okay. Warned you.
I mean, you're the sheriff. You could literally walk us in there and nothing bad would happen.
Consider this official business.
As soon as we get done with this stuff, we're leaving.
Do you want to be the one that personally escorts us out of this place?
Roll me. Sweet.
Sixteen.
16. She rubs her temples. Okay. All right. I'll get you in there. Get spotted. I'll say that it's an official business. Just do this quietly. I don't want to make a scene. But I'm not going to that grave with you. No, that's spooky as shit. I don't know what the fuck y'all gonna do with that. That's your deal. Whatever you do at that grave, that's on you. Like me out
With a
of it.
sly grin, Allura's just going to roll one sleeve up, giving Ilya a knowing look.
You know what?
And my character will turn to her and go, bagels.
I'm just going to shoot a death glare at Altair.
So, I'm just gonna let everybody know I do not have a map for the bank,
So we have to use our imagination.
Oh, a bit of theatre of mind then.
but
Cool.
I do know where the bank is at. Everybody here.
Do you know? Does the DM know where the bank is in his own town that he created?
Yep, right here.
Fuck's sake.
So
See, y'all say this is dark. I'm over here like, when's it starting?
Yeah, when's the dark? Like, when's the darkness?
well,
Hanging kids, eh?
again, it depends on the decisions that you make. So far, you're leaning towards one of the neutral ones.
Good. That was my intention to begin with.
So
For now.
Embrace the chaos.
You guys make your way to the bank. I'm not going to make you roll stealth rolls because there's literally nobody out here at this late hour walking about other than going in and out of the tavern.
Can I just roll stealth anyway?
Sure.
Okay, because I'm going somewhere with this.
Cool.
9.
Uh,
Let me call
Every-
this, but tell me how successful I am.
sure.
Like, just relatively, like, yes, no, successful.
Okay.
9.
I mean, 9 is definitely not successful.
Okay, so while the sheriff is walking the party through the town streets to get to the bank, Allura is just trying her best to be stealthy anyway, just kind of humming the Mission Impossible theme to herself and like darting from shadow to shadow, but
It's okay.
in actual fact making
Hold on,
more
hold on.
noise than the rest of the group.
Well, I love to say, hold on. Roll a perception check.
Okay. 13. No, wait, no. I need to have a modifier. 16.
You realize Altair is humming it with you.
Roll me an insight check.
All right. 20.
You, for some strange reason, you feel as some deity at far off land is rolling his eyes at you. Anyway,
Yes.
Wait. You mean we don't have to just look at the webcam for this?
again,
I'm
And
so glad.
all,
far off
I'm
land.
so glad I did this.
and all the while, Zern's just watching a giant cat and a small rogue dart in and out between different
No.
piles of shit.
No. That is her character. My character is just humming the Mission Impossible thing.
It's fucking Shaggy and Scrappy Doo, except Scrappy is a fucking like 6-foot tall cat.
Yeah, literally, Allura's
No,
just darting
I'm
from shadow to
Scooby.
shadow, going dong dong
Don't
dong dong.
don't lie to yourself. You are Scrappy.
I am Scooby because Scrappy's the one that's always chomping at the bit to fight. Do I have to point out what's happening right now? Or what just happened?
Uh-oh.
Like Allura's
Who did
got
we
a
have to
taste
hold
for the-
back?
Literally, what this is that Allura has got a taste for the fight now, and she's just like fucking hyper and everything.
So you semi-successfully make your way to the bank. However, be it that you do it, you make your way there. It's a very small bank. It's not like your typical modern day banks like you would see here around and about. It's again more of the Western theme, so it's going to be a lot smaller. For anybody who's played Red Dead Redemption, you'll know just how small them fucking banks can be.
Or watched a Western.
Or watched any Western. So she goes in and pulls out this large set of keys, flips through a couple of them, finds one in particular, puts it into the door, unlocks the door, and opens it up. Guys, make your way in. Very simplistic bank. Nothing like extravagant about it. It's literally just couple of benches here and there. There's the podiums that are in the middle of the floor for people to go in and write their, stubs and all that other shit. Then you've got the big counter that has the barred gate blocking you from the other side. And the only way back there looks to be like this makeshift wooden door that is over to the right side. And it looks like it swings in. You do.
I mean, are there the things like labeled to where we can find the one that was
you had to go back there because the safe is back in the back. That's what I'm getting at. Like, you're like at the main entrance way of the floor.
We go to the back, apparently.
Okay. So the safe in the back looks like, in an odd makeshift way, it looks like a normal safe with the big, like, spinning wheel latch. However, the knobs on the latch have runes on them.
Okay, can I read these runes?
What language is
Common, Dwarvish, Elvish, and Thieves' Cant.
no?
Okay.
Draconic.
No.
Abyssal,
Celestial?
Celestial, Infernal.
Yep. Ilya said one of them.
Celestial?
Yes.
Oh,
Cool. I can read it.
Okay.
yep. So can I.
So if you know anything about like a numbered safe, to where it's like the dial where you have to spin it, it's basically the same concept, except that like instead of numbers, it's runes, and they light up a certain color when you know you've gotten it right. So what do?
I pass this information along to the thief.
Thief.
Seriously?
Welcome to being a rogue 101.
Take your
I can't fucking read it.
take your non-roll of a stealth and see if you can't open a giant fucking door.
Right, what should I roll to try and open this, considering I cannot read the language?
I would
Cool. You have 3 people here that can tell you what it says.
Well, bear in mind, at this point, I imagine probably all 3 of you are staring at me, waiting for me to do this, and I'm just gonna shrug at you, just like, I can't read that shit.
And I'm going to be like, yeah, we know this. We've been in a situation like this before.
Yeah, so, can I help a girl out, you know? I know what it says, I might be able to...
So what I will say is that if Altair is willing, then Allura, I'll give you advantage as a action for Altair because he's giving you what it says, and you're just trying to essentially open it up.
Okay.
Make a let's say sleight of hand advantage.
Sleight of hand with advantage.
Yes.
Alright. Oof. Okay, that's the first roll. Oh, thank God, 19.
Cool. So with Altair's help, basically goes in and tells you where to start and stop at. So you just keep spinning the wheel, and you spin it left, right, left, and then he goes and says, stop, spin it the other way, stop, spin it the other way, stop. You hear a click, and it starts to swing open on its own, but doesn't swing open all the way.
Okay, has it swung open far enough that I could get in there?
It swung far enough for you to be able to like peek in there.
Okay, can I roll perception, see what I can see
Thing.
through the gap? And that is a 12.
12. Who is a fan of Doctor Who?
Loosely.
It's a lot bigger
Okay,
on
so
the inside.
it's a
Oh,
TARDIS.
okay,
A
yes. So
fucking TARDIS.
I don't have to be
Hold
a
on, hold on.
die-hard fan to get that, yeah.
So it's a safe of holding.
Yes.
It's a safe of holding, yeah.
Safe of holding.
Okay. You know, for a town that don't like magic, you guys don't hold some secrets yourself, do you?
Eh.
I'm just gonna sort of motion to the others, just like, hey, come over here. Come take a peek at this.
Zern's gonna mosey on over.
Help. Yeah, it's a lot bigger on the inside. Giant fucking.
Good
Okay.
night, Osmodius.
Near.
Can we pull the door open?
Try with a strength check. And if somebody
Okay.
Anybody
helps
hear?
you,
Anybody hear? Anybody hear
And-
raspy breathing?
What?
If
He
you
got
get-
the joke. Don't the person it was meant for got the joke. It's okay.
Yeah. Anyway, if you get the help action, you can roll it with advantage.
I was gonna say, does anybody want to give me help action for the strength check? Considering I'm a 6 foot tall half elf.
Fuck it, I'll do it.
All right, I appreciate it.
Strengths are probably higher
I
than mine.
definitely appreciate it because that was a shit roll. That was even worse. So that was a 9.
A 9.
Yeah, 9 with the advantage roll.
You hear a slight toot. And you don't know if it came from you or if it came from somebody else near you because you're all crowded at the end of that little at the door.
Toot.
Toot, like
Like someone just tapped on a trumpet or
no,
something.
more like
Like somebody fucking farted.
That's what I'm thinking. Like a strained too hard and shit myself or what?
yeah, sure.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's not canon. Absolutely not.
Prestidigitation.
Fuck. Anybody else want to give a go at this? Because I can't get this thing to budge.
Oh, lords. Zern's gonna try to pull it.
Okay.
And I'll assist.
Okay.
Great, so I can roll with advantage.
Sure.
That's horse shit.
Well, that's your first roll.
No, that's both rolls.
Wait, you rolled 5 twice.
I rolled 2 twice.
Rolled 2 twice. Oh,
Two
yeah. You
2d20 keep highest.
you
Oh wait, I rolled the wrong one. I rolled a strength saving throw. Oopsie.
I nearly did the same thing.
Okay, try again. 13.
That's a lot better.
That's more like it.
So it's a lot heavier than it looks, but you do manage to open up a good ways to where.
Okay. Let's head inside.
All right, perception.
All roll.
Yeah, I'll do the same.
19.
That is dirty 20.
16.
17 on the die.
16.
Cool. You all pretty much see it. So, like you saw at the doorway when you were looking through the little peek hole, it's a lot bigger on the inside. There are shelves upon shelves upon shelves for what seems to be miles, like just miles and miles of shelves.
Please
All-
tell me they're all in alphabetical order.
They don't have any letters or numbers with them, but you do see something very peculiar. There is what looks to be like 2 little makeshift obelisks that are sitting like a foot apart from one another side by side towards the center of the room. But that's the only thing that's in the middle of the room. Everything else is just shelves.
So I'm guessing these are like auto retrieval sentries. I'm going to activate one of them.
How do you activate?
I touch it.
Okay. So you touch one of them glows, but nothing happens.
Can I roll an investigation on it?
Yes.
16.
So both of the obelisks have a left hand print and a right hand print.
Okay. So I'm going to put my hands where the handprints are then.
Cool. So both of them light up. They glow a blue color. And Zurin, only you can hear it. hear in your head where it says, "Welcome to the automated bank device. What shelf shall we pull for you today?"
Zern's going to speak Alera Daragon.
Searching. Searching.
The echo's helping that actually.
Error. Error. 404 not found.
Location. Alera Daragon. 1 container. Retrieving now. You see as on about like roughly about 30 to 40 stories high. Like, I'm not even kidding. It's literally that high up. You look up and you see a glowing blue box up way up high shoot itself out and then zip line to you right in front of you and then stop. The lid opens up and all you see is a letter.
All right. Zern's going to take the letter out and open it and try to read it.
So you open up the letter and do you read Elvish?
I do not.
Okay.
I can, if you need.
Do you
Yeah, if Allura wants to help it, yeah.
Cool.
Yep. Okay,
So,
I'll take the letter and read it.
Give it to Allura. Allura, you read as follows in Elvish. Read, "To my beloved adopted son Locke. You will not know me by the time that you read this. You won't even know that I exist. I found you in the woods during a hunting trip right before what I called the purge happened.
The next 24 12 hours.
I took you back to my cabin and hatched you from your egg and raised you as my own. Little and behold, I was unfortunately told by someone much stronger than I that I needed to make a choice. Let the world burn, or have you become the vessel that would contain the one that would destroy the world and the worlds within of themselves. I didn't have my friends Zaris or Anon here to guide me, tell me what I must do. Usually Zaris was the one who was always good about making the better decision whenever I was conflicted. I mean, hell, he always said magic always has a price. So I made the decision on my own, and it's one that I will, for the rest of my life, regret. But hopefully it's one that my two friends would have sided with me. I let you become the vessel. Sacrifice one needs of. Whether I made the right decision or not, I will probably never know, because the moment that I finish this letter to you, I am going to give up the gift that was given to me. I wish to see my friends again. It's been too long. I don't know what's going to come about of this decision. I will probably be long gone before any of that happens, but I'm going to leave you at the doorsteps of the orphanage. I pray they will take care of you and see to it that you grow into the man that I think you become. I will leave you one thing, though. Just a small little trinket. My friend Zaris gave it to me a long time ago. Allura, you look to Zurin, and Zurin, you see in the box where another lid opens up on the inside, and you see a small little pouch.
I'm gonna take the pouch out and look in.
There is a black ring on the inside.
Okay.
I would like to put the ring on.
The ring is called the Ring of Shadows. It allows the wearer to be able to use a bonus action to teleport in dim light or darker, 30 feet in any direction. While in said darkness, you can use an action to activate the other effect of the ring to where that you now become resistant to bludgeoning, slashing, and piercing damage. If you step into any form of what they call bright light, the effects wear off immediately. There are no charges on this ring, so it is infinite use as long as you are in dim light or darker.
Oh wow.
You get to rage in the dark.
Neato.
Allura, you,
Well-
you continue to read because there's a last bit of information. The last part of it states, "This was all that was in my possession. Everything else I am taking with me to the grave." Hey, I see you again in the afterlife. Signed, Alara.
Hmm.
So Allura, you do relay all that, right?
Yep. That's
All
read
right.
out loud.
But Zurin, the ring that you currently have on you, you before you put it on, you kind of look at it and fiddle with it a little bit. So the ring looks like it's almost like obsidian in color. On the inside, you see an engraving, marked and etched into it is property of Zaris.
Interesting. Well, I think I know where we need to go next.
The sheriff looks to you and says, "Are you?"
I think we might be.
I'm going to reactivate the golem and have it return the box to the shelf.
So hear the golem go in and say, "Thank you for your time and your services. You all have a." And then you see the box close and then back into its shelf. And then the pillars, the obelisks, stop glowing. And then you remove your hands off of them. The sheriff looks to each of you. Let's get out of here. Let's skedaddle. Like I said, I'm not going to any grave with you, so this is my final like cutting off point, so to speak. I'm gonna go back to the bar and drink some more. So you need me. I'm not here. Bye. And she,
Mhm.
with you guys, you all walk out of the bank, and then she locks the bank back up, and then just skedaddles right back towards the bar.
Mhm.
Is a re-election coming up anytime soon for these guys?
I mean, she'll probably win because she does whatever they tell her to.
This one time she didn't.
So, I'm going to ask you a very important question. It's for everybody. Want to make this your stopping point, or do you want to continue on?
Seems like as good as one as any if there was gonna be one. But I'll leave it with the rest.
I'll go with the party consensus.
I think it's less about the party and more about actually stopping for the night.
That's what I'm saying. If the overall consensus is that we stop
Yeah.
now, I'll go with that.
Yeah, I mean, if like in 20 minutes' time we're gonna be through the next, like in the middle of the next thing, then now might be a good point, and then we can just
Yeah, I was gonna say
do it
because
block by
like
block.
essentially like the way that I've got it laid out is that you probably are gonna have like a 2-part portion of what I had written here. I just don't want to continue on from here because the next bits are like the bits where it's going to be very important. And I don't want to like stop in the midst of that. So that's why I'm giving you the option now.
Hmm. Yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah.
Might as well.
All right. Well, the consensus
Seems as good
is
a time
that
as any.
we are going to end the session here. Thank you guys so much for listening in. I greatly appreciate it. This will be a 2-part episode. So, part 1 of Darkness Prevails, episode 20. Thank you guys so much for listening. And I will do a couple of plug-ins right quick just because of the fact that we're kind of ahead of schedule. We normally end at 3-hour mark. So did this yesterday during the recording, so I felt fitting to do it now. If you have not already checked out the podcast for the Dirty 20, you can go in and listen to the podcast over on Spotify, Anchor, Apple Podcasts, wherever you go and listen to your podcast at, you can go and find us there. The Dirty 20 is the name of the podcast. If you are confused, as some people in the chat had made it very well known to me this evening as to not knowing what was going on, you can go and watch the previous episodes here on YouTube, where we have the entire series laid out in nice little format to where you guys can go and watch it from the first episode up until this one. So you will definitely have to come back and let me know what you think of the series so far of Adventuring High. I would love to hear feedback. And hopefully the next time you come to the next episode, you won't be as confused if you do so. Secondly, another plug-in, and it has to do with some of the events that transpired in this. Some of the I would like to go in and bargains. Every person that is here tonight is either a player or the DM. I am not the DM.
The DM should say hi.
But that DM is here. He has done a fabulous job with his podcast. The characters of which that night and this episode last week, and a few episodes before that. They are all characters that were inspired by the podcast of which that he conducts. Just that as we stated earlier, the timeline of which this was conducted of different manner of where that the events that transpired in the podcast are completely separate and different from the decisions that were made in that podcast. So nothing that transpires here is canon into his podcast whatsoever, just names and characters. That is it. And I do thank him for allowing me to be able to conduct such characters. This little segue, I greatly appreciate that. Val is not with us in these sessions, but I will go ahead and plug her podcast in. They are over on Chaos Crits. You can watch them on Twitch and on YouTube. They have their own little D&D podcast they do. And Val was, I don't know if she still is or not, but she was the DM of that, I believe, away from that, and has player in the current campaign that they're doing. But they do a fabulous job over there, and she's phenomenal here, venturing high. And I cannot wait till we get to the point where that we can bring her back and let her go on her own little journey while our players here are on theirs. They all happen simultaneously to one another. That's all I've got. Does anybody else want to say anything?
Remember, spay, neuter your pets.
Oh, God.
I'm hidden.
Have mercy. All right. Thank you all so much. We'll catch you in the next one. Bye.